Hey everyone, welcome back to Endless Legend. We're going to be starting a series today that is going to be the Vaulters on the High Seas. But we're also going to do this series as a kind of tutorial series where I try to better explain this game. Now keep in mind, I am not a Grandmaster, super mega godly player at Endless Legend, but I think I've played the game enough that I can disseminate information to you guys. And hopefully get you guys more interested in this game, because I really enjoy it. So, like I said, we're Vaulters, we're going to be Vaulters, and first and foremost, we're going to go over how I set up the world here. And the first thing is our empires, and most people that play the game, and when I don't play it while I'm recording, I do just do randoms, but for recording purposes, I want a variety. So, we're going to pick the Anomalies as red, the Broken Lords as orange, and the Draken as blue. I almost always have these three in my recordings because the Anomalies are generally passive and you can play some diplomacy with them. The Broken Lords are variable. Sometimes they're entirely pointless to have around, and sometimes they dominate the map. And, you know, they can run the gamut from being really aggressive to being really passive. And the Draken can either be really aggressive or be really diplomatic, or a mixture of both. So I like having these three in here. Now for the Pew screen, we're going to do the Morgower, because they were in the previous playthrough, and they're going to be the big sea power here, because we are doing on the high seas. And then for this last faction, I've done Wild Walkers, Vaulters, Broken Lords, Artemages, Roving Clans, Draken, Cultists, Forgotten, Alai, and Morgower. That just leaves the Necrophages. And the Necrophages, they're kind of like the Broken Lords, where they can just go off and be crazy, or they can just be kind of passive. So for this world, we're going to start with islands. Now the temperature I've set to Arctic right now, and I think we're going to flip it back to temperate, just to get variation. And temperate is kind of the default, so we're going to do that. So the land percentage is 30%, which is fine. Now number of continents I want to actually have straight up be 6, but I want island odds many. The reason for this is because I want us all to have our own individual location, but still have the chances of lots of islands showing up. Now I normally do sea around the edges, and I think I'm going to still do sea around the edges. World wrap is obviously on, and we have both hemispheres. Our continent spread and form are regular, and the region sizes are normal. We have few lakes. Any lakes that show up are going to be small. We have lots of rivers though. Very few ridges and cliffs, because I'm not a big fan of those. Now I am actually going to set the strategic resources up to abundant. Normally I would leave this on normal, but I've tried to do this I think 3 times already, and every single time I've gotten screwed over on strategics. And I just want it to be a little easier in that regard. Now keep in mind that does mean strategics are just going to be plentiful for everyone, so there's that. And before we hop in, we're going to look at the Vaulters really quick. So the Vaulters and the Mazzari are functionally identical, but they just look different. The Mazzari are more spacey, and if you look at their units, they have a more like black metal theme, which is pretty cool looking. And the Vaulters have like the gray with the fur, and are still pretty cool looking. But I think I could go either way on them. I think I'll stick with the normal Vaulters for now. The Mazzari are in Endless Space 2 as a subgroup of the United Empire, and I hope the Vaulters are in that game. But yeah, we're gonna hop into Vaultin. So the first thing the Vaulters have is the Holy Resource, and the Holy Resource is you define a strategic resource as a booster, and when you activate it, it costs 5 plus 5 per city. And activating it gives a special bonus based on their strategic resource. And I'll point those bonuses out when we actually acquire them in the game. It also allows you to teleport between your cities. And during the winter, you get plus 200% holy resource per turn. So you get a huge amount of your holy resource in when it gets cold out. Veins of Auriga, we get plus 1 resource on strategic resource extraction. Knack for Knowledge is +1 Science and Terrain with Science. We have 3 special technologies we can research. The Deep Generator, the Endless Recycling, and the Strength of the Vault. And all of these require Holy Resource to be made. Marines are our standard unit, and they're sort of an archer, shielded archer. They're basically like Space Marines in a fantasy setting. The Dawn Officer is our cavalry. They run up and hit things. And the Titan is our big, heavy, slow tank, and it's a giant robot. That looks pretty awesome. We have our Vaulter main quest, and our 2 techs we start with are Open Pit Mine and Public Library. And actually, you know what? I've done a Vaulter playthrough with the strict Vaulter, so we're just going to set Mazzari as our skin. And hit start. And like I mentioned, Mazzari and Vaulters are functionally identical. Excuse me while I take a little sip of water. That's going to happen during this. And being functionally identical, like, it means they're functionally identical. And I'm going to get the mouse off the screen before the movie starts. This is also going to be my testing Shadowplay with Endless Legend video series. So we'll see how this works out. And I think every video is going to be 20 turns. So we'll get to our Empire plan, and then I'll flip the record and go to the next 20 turns. And the goal is to be victorious by turn 200 or so. So it's going to be about 10 episodes. I might skip stuff in here, but I'm going to try to point out everything in the game and how it works. And I'm going to try to share my strategy as I go. Now this game, you can't really do it like Grim Dawn, where you take all the constituent parts, choose one, do a basics video on it, and then go. Because this game is all sort of like, you're doing everything at once, and it's subtly different every time you play. It's subtly different every campaign you do, based on how the AI is acting, your regions, your resources, and I will shut up now.
Our legend spoke of a great journey beneath the stars. Safe in our halls and mines, we ignored these old tales. But then the great quake cracked our halls open, revealing ancient secrets and relics. These unknown relics carried our patterns, our images, hints of a hidden past. We took them and fled the destruction, seeking a new life on the surface. Now the legends and relics of our past show the way to our future. The journey will be dangerous, sometimes deadly, but we go forth without fear or ignorance. For courage and knowledge are the bywords of the Vaulters.
Aw, yeah. She sounds a lot like Adrienne Barbeau. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, we got a good thing already. So, yeah, first things first. We have Silix as our area. The Draken will automatically be able to do diplomacy with everyone in the game, because that's their thing. And Silix are a great thing for Vaulters to have as their minor faction. Because Silix give you bonus strategic resources when you assimilate them. And I was saying, like Grim Dawn, unlike Grim Dawn, you can't really break this game down into its parts. There's a lot that goes into this game. Okay, so first things first. We're going to explore around a bit, then I'll go into the menus. So you just grab one Marine, you click right there, and then you right click, and you can have your unit start exploring. 5 titanium, nice. So we can go around and collect these ruins, and we have C right here next to a pretty good anomaly. Now trees require 2 movement to get through. We're actually going to grab up, and we have Arctic right next to us, which is great. So our island is kind of on the bottom, looks like. So we'll grab our other Marine, and we're going to send him down. Okay. We're going to send this Marine to get this ruin. We have gold as well, that's a luxury, and titanium is our strategic here. I'm going to break our hero off. And actually select her, because I have accidentally moved my settlers when I meant to move my hero. So, yeah, Arctic is great for science. So I'm excited we have it, like, right next door. Meteor Fields. So there are going to be these little things on the ground that are anomalies, and anomalies provide a variety of bonuses based on what it is. So Hidden Springs here has a lot of food and some dust. Moss Pearls gets food and science. Moss Pearls are also over here. There's up here you can see some Black Earth, which is just a whole lot of food. Right here is some Chromatic Land, which is food and science. And right here is the big one that got me excited to just be right next to, and that's an Earth Tower. This will give us a lot of industry and science right off the bat with plus 10 approval, and that's just as good as pretty much everything else you can pick up here. And we'll take our settler and we'll look at their settler vision, and I'm thinking we're going to plop down right here because we'll also have direct access to the sea, and I'm really not seeing anything that's going to compare to this. Like even way up here, yeah, 20 food's kind of amazing, but that requires 2 turns to get to, and we want to settle on our first turn. It's a requirement to settle on our first turn, so we're definitely going to put down, so we'll be over the Moss Pearls and the Earth Tower. 13 food is pretty good. 9 industry is not bad. 12 science is okay. 4 dust is but take what you can get on dust this early, and it's that 10 approval is absolutely major. Makes up for any shortcomings we may have with this. Now in your city, there's a bunch of stuff to read in your city. You have an approval rating, which will modify the production in your city. You have your populations. It's 1 plus 0, and the pluses are based on how many minor factions you've assimilated, which are like the the Silics are next door. Oh, we had to definitely explore up here. I don't know what my faction is for this area then. And you can rename your city. So I always do Wolfsburg as my main area. You can browse your things you've built, which we obviously don't have any. This is your security. And you do a roundup if you're getting spied on. Now over here you have your FIDSI for food, industry, dust, science, and influence. Food determines how fast your city grows. And you see this flashing green bar here. What this indicates is how fast our city's going to grow per turn. And once this bar fills up, you get a whole nother population. Industry is how fast you build your things. Science is added together across all of your cities and determines your nominal science output on your empire. Or your empire output per turn. Not nominal. And then your dust is all added together and added per turn, and then influence is also added per turn. Dust is used as currency, influence is used as sort of political currency. It's used for 1, for doing diplomatic actions with the other empires, and 2, doing your empire plans. And I think, let's see how long. So you always put our Founders Memorial in. So I think what we're going to do actually is next turn I'm going to flip this guy over to industry, because I think that'll let us get 2 turns of growth and then get the slightly hurried up Founders Memorial. So we can build a gold extractor immediately, but we're not going to do that. The first thing I always pick up is Language Square as the vaulters. The reason to pick up Language Square is to interact with the minor factions. And this is mostly to get quests off them, because getting quests gives us a nice benefit, nice like boost of bonuses early on, in addition to exploring for ruins. Then I pick up the Mill Foundry, because this is the standard industry thing you put in all your cities. It'll give you a boost of industry, both flat and then percent on top of that. And then for vaulters, Alchemist Furnace is way too important to pass up on. So I always go for that for number 3. And we'll pick the other stuff after we get these 3 done. For legendary deeds floating around, pacify 8 villages. We might be able to get that, which is actually not a bad one for us. Bonus initiative on our units is pretty good. There is 130 gold at stake, which I don't really care about right now. And the Museum of Auriga, we've already got the 5 titanium for it. We just need to find 5 glass steel. Era 2, we've got be the first to get 2,000 influence. And defeat 3 armies led by a hero. We will probably not get this. I doubt we'll get that, given the other factions in the game. And then the Megapole. So, our Marines have all moved. And I do split my guys up early on. It's generally a good habit to do that. And I think we're actually gonna... yeah, we're gonna move them over there and prep to talk to the Silix. So, that is turn 1, and I believe I've covered all the basics of turns. This is your quests, which you don't have any. Our hero, our armies, and navies will go here. Diplomatic screen, we don't have the market unlocked, and this is our spying, our espionage tab, which we don't have to worry about quite yet. Possibly never in this campaign, given that it is all island-based. And I will tell you that I've attempted to do vultures on islands several times, and pretty much every time I've done it, I've had their quest stagnate around step 4, I think, because it's hard to find the village you have to go destroy. So here's the first paragraph of text. I don't think I need to read it. Here's paragraph 2. Here's paragraph 3. The text is from the point of view of Opbot, who's a character in Dungeon of the Endless, and a hero you can acquire in Endless Space. So what we have to do is assimilate a minor faction, and we'll get 15 glass steel. That's another reason I'm using Vultures, is they have a pretty standard quest that has you do a lot of things. So we got 40 dust off that ruin, and we're actually going to run these guys... well, we'll just run them into town, and then we'll decide where to go. This is kind of a rough terrain piece here, because if you look, there's a cliff, and this here's another cliff, and then we got forest around it. So running in and out of our city is going to be a little rough, but we're vaulters. We're going to vault in and out of our cities. So I want to explore around here. Techites are our next door neighbors on this area. Yeah, some rough terrain there, but that's fine. I want to look for glass steel. Here's another island. Glass steel is the big linchpin of how I use the vaulters. So turn 3. Language square is done. That's really fast, actually, to get it done in 2 turns. We parlay. So they want 8 gold, and we will eventually have gold, so that's doable. Oh, we got more gold over here. Sisters of Mercy are our main area thing, and we've only got 1 though. There's another resource hidden in our area. So let's see. Oh, it's glass steel. That is uniquely perfect for me. We want to run and get those ruins. These vaulters, these marines, let's send them up here. We're going to try to explore our entire island. And yeah, let's move her up here, then up here, and here. So 2 techites, more glass steel. They're moving, they've moved. Yeah, now the gold, oh right, I said I was going to switch that, didn't I? Whoops. Yeah, we want that on 3 because that'll have the Bill Foundry immediately go in. Yeah, we'll get the gold together soon enough. Like, I'm not too worried about that. So turn 4. Dust. Yeah, so you see those ruins in the water? Those are for... those are for later. We'll just say it like that. Okay, we got that. Let's just... they're gonna take a while to move through here, I think. Which is fine. And I will go over and interact with the sisters soon. Yeah, I will actually let the Founders Memorial go. We don't have dust incoming, which is fine. That happens, especially this early in the game. So here's our little... We have, I think, one more territory on our island up here. And I think I can just recombine my marine stacks together. Make sure there are no enemies in here and we get 10 Titan Bones out of the deal. That is probably going to happen. And we just need to see what the Sisters of Mercy want. So I actually really love Silix as the Vulture race. The Vulture assimilated peoples. But I do also really like Sisters of Mercy, even though we only have one of them in our territory. That's the game kind of hanging. So, Mill Foundry's done. I get it, game. Yeah, Endless Legend has been being a little wonky about that lately. Yeah, and you can just assign your hero to your thing instead of moving her on it. So we're gonna throw the foundry in, and then we're gonna build the gold extractor. Yeah, normally the game is not like this at all for me, so it's weird. And we're gonna throw the library in on top of that. And probably by the time the alchemist furnace is done, we will probably want to slip that in there for the glass steel extractor before anything else. We can have a little bit of a queue going. Okay, yeah, this is a facility on the ocean. Ocean facilities we'll cover when we actually get to having sea power. And we're going to buy up the mill foundry. Buyouts are going to be extremely important to my my strategy here. But we'll cross that bridge when we actually cross that bridge. So, sort of a weird little peninsula spindly area. We're just going to run back up. Our hero leveled up. So the Vulture heroes, the Mizari heroes. Let's get a look at her. Pretty cool looking. So they're ranged as a unit. So the ranged class tree has bonus movement, +1 vision, an extra accessory slot, 3 levels of bonus to attack, +1 ranged in battle, or essentially +1 to ranged units in battle, and plus damage percentage. So they're really great for heading up an army that is entirely filled with ranged guys, which we are gonna do heavily, being, you know, Vultures and having Marines. As governors, Vultures are only okay. They're better in a land campaign, I will admit, because when you finally get to Mechanical Exhibitionists, you can get bonus trade routes. But we're not really going to have a lot of trade routes in our cities because of maybe not even picking up cargo docks. And we're obviously not going to have trade routes across the map. So Vulture heroes, I think, are really good if you have a lot of diplomacy going on with a land campaign where you have another faction sharing a piece of property with you. The first ability is really good late game. If you have a giant city, if you have a giant built-up city, this can actually be really, really good for basically +6 on every single district in that city. Otherwise, the only thing that's kind of okay is the fortification recovery from Subterranean Networker. But otherwise, I would probably just say, if you get a Vulture hero, use them for commanding armies full of ranged units. Okay, so I think we're gonna throw a settler in now. Because, we have 3. We have 3 as our population, and I'm fine dropping a pop to get another area. And I don't know which it's gonna be. I think we're gonna try to take over this area next. We have at least 3, or no, we have at least 4 places. And we might have a 5th. I don't know if we have a 5th. No, we don't. So we have 4 locations, which is perfect. That's what I like to have. And we have gold as our luxury, which is a not bad one, actually. I don't mind gold as a luxury resource. Oh, yeah. We need to see what the, Is there a minor faction here at all? Yeah, there's something there. Yeah, so we pacified the, that one region. That'll be great. Okay, rumblers. Rumblers are not bad. There's only one of them. Build a coastal battery in 5 turns, right? Wait, 5 turns to build a coastal battery? That's kind of tight, actually. I mean, we can throw it... No, we don't even have the adamantine for it. Wow, that's kind of a rough quest this early. So we're gonna run her all the way over here to get the Sisters of Mercy checked off. Oh, we'll throw that on there. And we need more research. So I think we're gonna do boarding vessels next because we have a city by the sea, and this will let us expand out more quickly. Now, the standard things to pick up are the Mill Foundry, Alchemist Furnace, if you need it, Open Pit Mine, Public Library, Cultivation, and Empire Mint. Now, with Tempest being added into the game, this kind of threw a wrench into the smoothness at which you do these things, because boarding vessels sometimes are necessary. Oh, and Mercenary Market. You want Mercenary Market, definitely. And boarding vessels for me, I'll pick them up once I get a city by the sea, and then go for it. So what we're gonna do here is cultivation after that, because it's just really important to have more food in your city. And after that, I don't know. I kind of want to pick up the Dawn Officer to show it off. I want to pick up all the units I can pick up to show them off. But, we only need 4 techs now? Yeah, so... sewer system's a really good one, too. But I don't know how many approval techs we're actually going to need. But... And we'll do the Mercenary Market and come back for, like, the Dawn Officer. And topography is going to be really important for us in the long run. That's when I usually pick up later, after we built up our cities a bit. So settlers, when you throw them in your city, it stops your food production. So you just move everything off of food onto industry and they'll be built faster. I don't actually think she can parlay again because... Oh, it's 2 Silix. No, we've got this quest going, so I don't think the parlay is going to work on that, but we can try. No. Okay, we're going to have her back on this course over here. One turn on the settler. Yeah, we're taking this region up here. Now, because we're in the south, I also want another coastal city, I think. Or at least a city that will eventually get to the coast. And I think we're going to put down over the Spiral Rock Peel. I don't see anything else in here that's particularly amazing. But I think if we do over the Rumbling Stones and Spiral Rock Peel, we'll have a good city. And we can expand upward. Sometimes you just have turns that are like this, where it's a little dead. So let's see, what can I get here? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll split it up like that because we can, we get our 2 turns on the extractor, and we still get we get a whole turn off on more growth. Bring back 8 glass steel. I think we can pull that off. Are any of these 2-part quests? No. Yeah, that's an insane one, actually. Yeah, we need one more turn to get the settler in there. Now, the only problem is we're putting down our second city, but I doubt we're going to be able to... So 12, 11, 8. 12, 11, 10. And then 6 and 8. So this is a better city. But... it is really far from the coast. You know, that might not be a bad thing, though, because we can always put, like a city up here. That area looks kind of like trash. That's probably last on my list for a settlement place. And then down here, I think... I'd have to, like, really look into the anomalies that are down here. Because none of them look particularly appealing. So, yeah, so we would equal food, equal industry, but this just has more... has more science, less dust. You know what? We'll do that. We can expand up and get close to the coasts. I'm gonna try to have everything be a coastal city as well for this this place. Now, this area, like I said, it's kind of difficult to pick a location because the anomalies aren't as amazing, and there's no like super clustered anomalies like what we had, like you can sometimes get, and kind of like what we had around here or here. So yeah, those 2 areas are going to be rough to settle. We will get them though. Now, unfortunately, because of the timing of our city placement, yeah, we failed that quest all right. I would have loved to get that Moonleaf though. Moonleaf is an awesome luxury booster. Yeah, unfortunately, because of the timing of this, I don't think we'll have the influence to be able to do a basic plan. Because we're only getting 10 more, that's 33. Or no, 15 more. I mean, I could... yeah, we could do that for a little bit. Now we're gonna start getting glass steel in. So they wanted... how much did they want? They need 8, so 4 turns and we'll have that. Little ways off on... and we got the gold coming in already, so... Oh, I forgot. Oh, I'm a dummy. I should have fired the Titan bones off before I settled my city. I forgot. I actually forgot I had them. Okay, so we need 2 more gold, and we can finish that quest, and we'll have the Silix. Now, real quick, before we actually get into making units, I'm just gonna kit out these with Fomorian Slayer. And we're gonna do 2 boarding vessels. 8 turns is a while, but we're gonna move these guys around around a bit. Is that an early winter? That feels like an early winter. Yeah, I haven't even been able to declare a holy resource yet. Which sucks, because that means, like, we won't be able to, get a huge benefit out of that ability yet. So we've quote-unquote encountered the Fomorians. They're the sea people. They're the water people. I'm looking around for pearls, in case anyone's wondering. Pearls fuel the altar of Auriga. And, I think you need 10 to build it. So we're going to try to collect together 10 pearls while we're doing things. Now, seed storage only works in the summer, so it's pointless to actually build it in winter in a city. And, okay, we definitely broke the 40 mark. So we can at least put this in. I like doing first the dust per pop on dust. So what we're going to start to do is actually... well, we're going to keep him there. We're going to move population on the dust. And what that's going to do is we'll just get more dust out of our population. And that's turn 20. We're going along okay. We haven't met anyone. I'm actually surprised we've met the Draken, obviously, but we haven't really met, like, the Alai haven't come by to say hello. The Morgar haven't come into the oceans near us, so we've only really seen Fomorians and Draken, thanks to the Draken's ability to make diplomacy with people. So what's going to happen next? We're going to finish off this titanium extractor and get our boarding vessels going. We're going to work on whatever happens in the sea. We're going to get a second population. And I believe we have the 8 gold now. We do. So we're going to pick up this pearl and then run her back here to finish off that quest. And that'll allow us to build the altar of Auriga in one of our cities. Probably in Wolfsburg. And that'll let us expand out a little bit. And I'll explain the city expansion next time. So, before I go, I have to start doing this. I have to start whoring myself out for likes and comments and subscriptions, because YouTube is now weighing those more heavily in its algorithm. And I personally wouldn't want to do it, but I think it's going to be kind of a necessity of just doing YouTube videos from now on. So please like, comment, and subscribe if you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave comments below if you have questions or comments about this game. And thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time for more, what is this, high seas vaulters with heavy tutorial elements playthrough.